ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we are reading from the 10th canto, chapter 7, the killing of the demon Trinavarta. After Krishna killed the demons Putana and Shakatasura, now Yashoda Mai is very much eager to offer more and more protection to Krishna. पूर्ववत् स्थापितं गोपैर्बलिभिः सपरिच्छदं विप्राहुतार्चयान् चक्रु दधि अक्षतकुशाम्बुभिः. So after Krishna had kicked that cart and all the metals pots on the cart along with its contents had fallen and spilled on the ground, then what happened? Purvavat sthapitam gopair balibhir. They were strong, powerful gopas, cowherd boys, who were very stout, and they assembled the various parts of that broken handcart and also placed the pots on top. That was their profession, that was their nature. And in the same period, to protect Krishna, what the Brahmanas were doing, Viprahutva archayam chakru. So the Brahmanas also protected Krishna by offering yagya, archana, pujas, dadhi akshada kushambubhihi. And therefore the Gopa Jati and the Vipra Jati both offered their service to Krishna as per their particular guna and karma. So now it is described, very beautiful verse. Ye suyanyad ye asuya anrata dambhersha himsa mana vivarjitam natesham satyashilanam ashlisho viphalakritah. So in this particular verse, the importance of having a class of people who are free from envy, asuya, anrita, untruthfulness, dambha, unnecessary pride, himsa, grudges, mana, disturbance by the opulence of others, vivarjita, and false prestige. When there is a class of people in society who are asuya, anrita, dambha, irsha, himsa, mana, vivarjita, then natesham satyashilanam. So one may think, why are you harping so much about becoming free from all of these? Material society considers these to be ornaments. If envy inspires you to compete and defeat somebody, then you are glorified in society. No. Asuya, anrita, dambha, irsha, hinsa, mana, vivarjita, na tesham satyashilanam. If somebody actually is so pure, then whatever they speak turns out to be true. Ashisho vifalakrita, and their blessings or good wishes, they never go in vain. So modern society does not have too much faith in reality, in depth, about the power of blessings. If someone is pure, is free from all negative intentions, and with very genuine desire tries to serve and please, their effect is very powerful. And therefore Yashodamai wanted the influence of such pure-hearted Brahmanas to be upon Krishna so that he remains protected. And therefore, in the episode of Bhishma also, Bhishmadev tells the Pandavas that actually all of you have survived so far. Sarvam kalakritam manye bhavatam chayadapriyam sapalo yat vashe loko vayor iva ghanavali. You have gone through so much distress, various kinds of atrocities, torture, lost your kingdom, lost your sons, but still you are protected because Vipradharma Achyutashrayaha, you have been protected by Vipra, the Brahmanas, Dharma, because of following dharmic principles, Achyuta, you have been protected by Lord Krishna himself. And all of these subtle factors play a crucial major role in creating auspiciousness and protection in our lives. And now Nanda Maharaj took Krishna on his lap. Iti balakamadaya samarga rig uparkritai jalai pavitraushadibhir abhishitya dvijottamaihi. And then placing Krishna on the lap, Nanda Maharaj had all kinds of auspicious rituals being performed, especially auspicious abhishek of Panchamrita, and all kinds of auspicious items were poured on Krishna's body. And Vachayitva swastayanam nanda gopa samahita hutva chagnim dvijatibhyah pradat annam mahagunam. Then, as per the holy hymns of Samaveda, Rigveda, Yajurveda were being performed, and while the hymns were being chanted, Nanda Maharaj bathed Krishna with water mixed with herbs. And then Nanda Maharaj conducted a fire yajna. And after the fire yajna was over, Nanda Maharaj sumptuously fed all the Brahmanas with first class grains and other food. And therefore, at the end of any yajna, pradat annam mahagunam, it is compulsory to distribute Krishna prasadam. And therefore, this particular section is very important on how we can create auspiciousness in our lives. Gavah sarva gunopeta vasasra grukma malini atmaja bhyudayarthaya pradache pradate cha anvayayunjata. Nanda Maharaj, for the sake of the affluence of his son Krishna, so that is what is described here. What is that? Atmaja abhyudaya arthaya. Atmaja abhyudaya arthaya, so that his son Krishna can actually progress and develop. What did he do? Nanda Maharaj gave gavah, cows, in donation, but not normal cows. Sarva gunopeta, they were full of all auspicious qualities to give ample milk. And vasah, they were decorated with silken clothes. Srag, They were having flower garlands and Malini, Rukma Malini. Each of the cows were having golden necklaces. And in this way, when the Brahmanas received those cows, they became pleased and happy. And they blessed Nanda Maharaj and they blessed Krishna. And therefore, what would the Brahmanas do with these cows? They would not start a milk business. They would take these cows, from the cows they get the ghee, and from the ghee they would actually perform the yagyas, and that is how the cows would be used. Vipra mantra vido yuktaha tairyaha proktas tathashisha ta nishphala bhavishyanti na kadachit api sphutam. The Brahmanas, they were completely expert in chanting the Vedic hymns, and therefore all of them were yogis with mystic power. They were not ordinary Brahmanas, and therefore ta nishphala bhavishyanti na kadachit api. Such qualified Brahmanas, whatever yagya they would ever perform, would always be auspicious and successful and would never become fruitless. And therefore, this brief few verses reveal to us the importance and the power of protecting and preserving Brahminical culture. And so, International Society of Krishna Consciousness, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, ISKCON, has been established specifically for preserving the Brahminical culture by preserving the Vedic texts like Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Gita, the Chaitanya Charitamrita, for creating ambience within our temples for spiritual education. Prabhupada said our temples are like educational hubs, and therefore education means information and transformation. And that's what the association of devotees in the temple is supposed to create. And therefore, in the personal lives, devotees are supposed to try to follow the Brahminical principles of cleanliness, of truthfulness, of honesty, of compassion, and these are very, very important in order to create the platform for planting Krishna consciousness within the heart. And that's why in 10th canto, in Gokul, when Krishna is directly present, when any such incidents are happening, Yashoda Maya and Nanda Maharaj are again and again invoking these rituals, these pujas, these kind of culturally protective shields for Krishna. Otherwise they can say, Krishna is here, why we need to do all this ritual? Once you have Krishna, you have everything else. They could have responded like that. But no, there is a certain logic and pattern behind the Vedic spiritual and ritualistic activities. They are all connected ultimately to elevate our consciousness. So we cannot just disconnect ourselves from the entire program. And therefore, within the practice of Krishna consciousness also, certain minimum rules and regulations are specified. And only when we follow those rules and regulations diligently will we experience the effect of the practice of Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, the entire practice of Krishna consciousness will become again and again stalled by various kinds of mental heaviness like that. So now it is said, Ekadarohamarudham lalayantam sutam sati garimanam shishorvodhum na sehe girikutavat. Ekada, one day, 1 year after Krishna's appearance, Ekada arohamarudham. So Mother Yashoda was patting Krishna on her lap. Lalayanti sutam sati. So she was kind of, making sure that Krishna is happy and blissful and everything. Lalayanti. She was playing with her son. Garimanam Shishorvodhum. At that point, suddenly Yashoda Mai could experience Garimanam. Krishna is becoming heavier. And so, Vodhum, and to bear na sehe. She could not bear to hold him anymore. Garimanam Shisham Vodhum na sehe. She could not tolerate. Girikutavat, and Krishna became as heavy as a huge mountain. So, Lalayanti means sometimes mother lifts the child and the child falls in her hand, the child laughs, and the mother also enjoys like this. But now Krishna became so heavy, Mother Yashoda had to keep Krishna on the ground. So now it is described why Krishna became heavy. So Krishna understood that I have just killed Shakata. Shakata is the cart. And so the cart usually carries huge bunches of grass which are cut in the fields and brought for the cows. So therefore the grasses is known as Trina. So Shakata's best friend was Trina or Trinavarta, the whirlwind demon who would make grasses and pieces of straw in the ground go high up in the sky by the influence of his tremendous stormy nature. So therefore Trina was very angry that my friend Shakata has been killed, and therefore he decided he will come and attack Krishna on the advice of Kamsa. And so as Trinavarta was entering Vrindavan, a huge powerful storm was going to envelop the entire Vrindavan, and Krishna knew that Trinavarta is specifically coming to kill me and catch me. If I am close to Mother Yashoda, while wanting to catch me, he will harm and hurt Yashoda Mai also. So therefore Krishna became heavy. He apparently became inconvenient to deal with. He became difficult to deal with. Why? So that Yashoda Mai does not have to be in difficulty. So the Krishna conscious thought process is that sometimes when we have to save others from difficulty, then sometimes we become difficult to deal with. Otherwise, if we are very pleasant to deal with and very easy to deal with, then others will keep dealing with us, and then when the difficulty comes, we will be able to deal with the difficulty, but they will not be able to deal with the difficulty. And therefore, in order to save them and protect them from some difficulties, sometimes we have to keep them at a distance. This happens in families, this happens in friendly relationships, this happens in various intimate relationships amongst business partners. This happens everywhere where there is a feeling of care and concern for the other person. So Krishna is demonstrating love. Love means willingness to experience personal pain, to give pleasure to the beloved. Lust means to experience personal pleasure and willing to give pain to anyone else at any cost. And therefore Krishna is the Lord of love, and he is wanting to protect Yashoda Mai from the influence of the painful attack of Trinavarta, and therefore he becomes heavy. And so at this point it is described here, He did not want his mother to suffer any difficulty. Krishna was the source of everything. Janmadhyasya yatah. He assumed the heaviness of the entire universe. So ultimately Yashoda Mai kept Krishna down on the ground. And as soon as Yashoda Mai placed Krishna on the ground, at that time suddenly the whirlwind began. Bhumau nidhayatam gopi vismita bhara pidita mahapurushamadadhyau jagatam asakarmasu. What was Yashoda Mai's thought process? Bhumau nidhayatam gopi. She placed, Mother Yashoda placed Krishna on the ground. Bhumau nidhayatam, that child. Vismita bhara pidita, aggrieved by the weight and astonished by the weight of that child. Mahapurushamadadhyau, and she realized that there is some danger coming. Let me take shelter of Mahapurusham, that Supreme Lord Narayan. Jagatam asa karmasu, and she called for the Brahmanas to counteract this heaviness, and she engaged in other household affair, and she had no alternative than to remember the lotus feet of Lord Narayana, for she could not understand that Krishna was the original source of everything. A very important point to recognize is when Krishna became intensely heavy for Yashoda Mai to carry, Yashoda Mai just placed Krishna on the ground. She did not artificially struggle to continue to carry Krishna, thinking that I will be a superwoman and at no cost will I put Krishna down. Jaan jaye par Krishna na jaye. And I don't mind being injured in the process, but I will not give up Krishna. No. When Krishna became heavy for her to carry, she realized that I have reached the limits of my capacity to be able to serve Krishna. And therefore, when I reach the limits of my capacity to serve Krishna in a particular manner, I have to place Krishna away. That means I have to let go of that particular service, that particular situation, and I have to allow Krishna to reveal what is in store for me in the next step. So therefore, Krishna became heavy. Yashoda Mai placed Krishna on the ground. None of us should ever think that in any situation, even at the cost of my Krishna consciousness, I should continue because I have been doing this kind of activity, and what will I do if I do not do this activity, and therefore I continue on my suicidal path of Krishna conscious so-called speculative service. No. Yes, at a certain point I must realize, I think it is too heavy for me at this stage. Let me now do something which will actually be what Krishna wants me to do. And with the guidance of the devotees, by taking the proper direction and counseling, one should also be able to place Krishna down, knowing that I cannot handle what is coming now. And so it was to Yashoda Mai's credit that she stuck to what she could handle, and that was she engaged in her household affairs, and she called for the Brahmanas to counteract the distress, and she closed her eyes and started praying to the Supreme Lord Narayana. So therefore, the service may change, but the service attitude must continue, the prayerful attitude must continue, and therefore there is no break as far as our prayer, service attitude and feeling of care and compassion is concerned. We just have to evaluate with maturity, with alacrity, with great determination and sincerity, when is the time when I should make the transition and do things in a way which will be more conducive, so that I can actually see Krishna in this particular situation. Now we see that at this point what happens. Daityo namna trinavartah kamsah bhritya pranodita chakravata swarupena jaharashisham arbhakam. There was a Daitya whose name was Trinavarta, Kamsah Bhritya Pranodita, and he was the servant of Kamsa. Chakravata Swarupena, and he was in the form of a whirlwind, Jaharasenam Arbhakam, and he very easily carried Krishna into the air. So, this was a huge challenge for the whole of Braj. The apple of everyone's eye, the center of everyone's consciousness, the life and soul for all the Brajavasis was Krishna. And now, Krishna, right from the midst of the Brajavasis, has been picked up by Trinavarta up in the air, and one moment ago Krishna was right there, Braj and Gokul was the center of bliss, and next moment Gokul became devoid of all light. Gokulam sarvamavrirnan mushnam chakshum sirenubhi irayan sumahaghora shabdena pradeshodisha. Krishna is sharing with us a very important lesson. Krishna consciousness is not an insurance against fate. Krishna consciousness is an insurance against faith, loss of faith. And therefore, whatever is supposed to happen in terms of calamities will happen. We should not think by practice of Krishna consciousness we can prevent disaster. But by practice of Krishna consciousness we can enhance our determination to deal with the disaster. And therefore, Braj was perfectly peaceful before Krishna appeared. And from the time Krishna appeared, Gokul has seen more attacks, more disturbances, more violence, more acts of terrorism than ever before. But the Brajavasis did not come together and discuss that, oh, from the time this Krishna has come, peace has been lost from here. Let us now experience peace by sending Krishna away. No. All these attacks were coming because of Krishna. And therefore, in the practice of our Krishna consciousness, we have to consciously cultivate the mood of the Brajavasis, that we want to protect Krishna, we want to nourish Krishna, we want to grow Krishna, and we want to support Krishna, not that we want to exploit Krishna, extract from Krishna, enjoy Krishna. No. Muhurtam abhavat goshtham rajasa tamasa vritam sutam yashoda napashyat tasmin nyastavati yata. At that point it is said, muhurtam abhavad goshtham. For a moment, throughout the entire pasturing ground, rajasa tamasa vritam, the particles covered everybody's eyes. Tamasa vritam, they became overwhelmed and their eyes were covered over. Sutam Yashodana pashyat, and Yashoda Mai could not also see Krishna. Tasmin nyastavati yataha. This is very important because we may have Krishna with us, but if somehow because of the influence of modes of passion one indulges in sense gratification for the gross senses or for the sake of prestige and position, one indulges in conflicts and all of this creates disturbance in the heart, what happens? One is unable to see Krishna. And therefore, as per Thakur Bhaktivinoda, Trinavarta represents the false argument of philosophers, Buddhists, logicians, and the false pride due to scholarship. The false arguments and false pride, these are just like the pieces of dust which were lifted up and it covered everybody's eyes. They make such impressive arguments, but they are the very arguments which cover them from seeing the absolute truth. And therefore, rajasa tamasa vritam, they also mean that when we are indulging in these kinds of arguments, the focus becomes more on proving one's superiority rather than wanting to connect with Krishna. I am better than yours, I am better than you, and this kind of mentality covers our eyes with the dust and we cannot really see Krishna. So we are there with Krishna but we can't see Krishna, and therefore even in the association of devotees there is danger for devotees to be engaged in very serious arguments and debates which are not properly fully authorized and needed. But if one engages in these kind of debates and arguments, the influence of that agitates the mode of passion, and when the mode of passion is agitated, rajasa tamasa vritam, that mode of passion ultimately creates negative mentality and various kinds of thought processes which are influenced by the mode of ignorance, and that rajasa tamasa avritam, it covers our Krishna conscious vision, just like here in Braja. And therefore people could not see themselves and anyone else, they were illusioned and disturbed. And when we are covered over like this, we may be very proud of our arguments, we may be very proud of our point of view, we may be very proud of our opinion and want to prove my opinion is better than yours, but as a result we can neither see our real self as an insignificant part and parcel of Krishna nor see others, and we indulge in a conflict which is worse than those who are not devotees of Krishna. And just like the dust storm stirred up the strong whirlwind, Mother Yashoda could not find any trace of Krishna, she could not understand why, and she fell down like a cow who has just lost her calf and started crying piteously. And therefore, when the dust storm subsided, all the gopis came to Yashoda Mai, they started searching for Krishna. And Yashoda Mai and all the gopis started crying for Krishna because their dearmost heart and soul Krishna was missing, because the cruel demon Trinavarta had picked up Krishna and he was rising higher and higher in the sky. Trinavarta Shantarayo Vatyarupa Dharoharan Krishnam na bhugata gantum na shaknod bhuri bharabhrit. With great confidence in his own abilities, with great confidence in his own powers, Trinavarta picked up Krishna and started taking him up higher and higher in the sky with a point of view of killing him there. But as Krishna started growing in his weight, Trinavarta's speed stopped and he became Shantarayo. The force of the blast reduced. Vatya Rupa Dharoharan. He had assumed the form forceful wind. Haran Krishnam Nabhagata. And he took Krishna high up in the sky. Na Shaknod Bhuri Bharakrit. But Krishna became more powerful and heavier than the demon, and he could not hold Krishna any longer. So the another quality which Trinavarta represents is, we may have some powers, we may have some abilities, we may have some intelligence, we may have some skills. Sometimes some of these perfections can go to our head and make us feel that it is by my skills that I am carrying Krishna. It is by my skills and by my powers that Krishna and Krishna consciousness movement is getting its importance. But that's a very demoniac thought, because if we claim credit for any of our perfections and mystic powers or skills or talents, which all of us have in tiny bits, but these display of talents is like an insignificant tiny speck compared to the ocean which is represented by Krishna. And therefore, if we do not acknowledge that my talent, my skill, my abilities, my perfections, these mystic siddhis are coming from Krishna, we become culprits in trying to compete with Krishna and defeat Krishna. And this kind of attempt and effort to try to compete and defeat Krishna will ultimately be unsuccessful, because at some point of time Krishna will humble us by saying, ultimately I am the one who is Hari, I am the one who is heavy, and you are insignificant compared to me. And therefore we should never try to compete with Krishna, we should only try to serve and please Krishna. And at that time, because of Krishna's weight, Trinavarta considered him to be a huge mountain or a piece of iron. But Krishna caught Trinavarta's neck like this, and he was unable to throw him off, and he was thinking that the child is wonderful, that he could neither cast him aside nor bear Krishna's weight. And at that point Trinavarta choked. He could not make a sound, he could not move his hands and legs. Trinavarta's eyes popped out, and the demon lost his life. Along with Krishna, fell down on the ground. And another mystic thing is, although Krishna along with Trinavarta fell from high up in the sky, Krishna remained uninjured, and he was simply playing on the top of Trinavarta's dead body. And when the gopis and all of the Brajavasis came and they saw Krishna, they just prayed to the Supreme Lord that how Krishna has been protected. Aho batatyadbhutamesha rakshasa balo nivrittim gamito bhyagat puna himsrasva papena vihimsrita khala sadhu samatvena bhayat vimuchyate. Aho bat ati adbhutam. Oh, indeed, this incident is very astonishing. Esha rakshasa, by the man-eating demon. All the Brajavasis, they come together and start expressing gratitude to the Supreme Lord Narayan. Oh my dear Lord, this boy, this innocent child Krishna has been protected by all the piety which we have done. And what is that? Himsra swapapena vihimsita khala sadhu samatvena bhayat vimuchyate. This demon has been killed by his own sins. He has been killed by the weight of his sins. Himsra swapapena vihimsita khala swapapena. So therefore, this is a very, very important point, that Trinavarta could shake up and perform his activities to some time, for some time. The impact of Trinavarta's power and his sins remained for a certain period of time. He managed to bewilder, disturb and cause fear to the Brajavasis. He managed to pick up Krishna. But anyone who is following a sinful path, in due course of time, the weight of their sins will catch up with them and they will come crashing down to the ground, not because of anything else, but simply by the weight of those sins. And therefore, we should try to lead a sinless life and not think that let me perform some sin, nobody will find out, everything will be all right. No, the sins accumulate and the effect of the sins accumulate, and one day we will come crashing down because of the weight of those sins. Himsra swapapena vihimsita khalaha sadhu samatvena bhayat vimuchyate. And he says, they say, a devotee is always protected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the faith of the Brajavasis. Not that one accident, one problem, and they come together and start analyzing and start vilifying and criticizing the Supreme Lord. Yeah, we are doing so much for you and still you keep giving so many problems, nonsense, blah, blah, blah. No. So the Krishna consciousness movement has been established to learn and to teach people how to respond at times of crisis, not react in an animalistic manner, but to respond in a divine manner. Because every beast can react, but you need to be divinely empowered to be able to respond with the right kind of vision and maturity. Kim nastapaschirnamadhokshacharchanam purteshta dattam uta bhuta sauhridam ya sampareta punareva balako dishtya swabandhun pranayan upasthita. So the Brajavasis are fully in tune with the Vedic culture, and they say that Kimna tapah chirinam, we must have performed austerities for a very long period of time. Adhokshajarchanam, we must have worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead for a long time. Purteshta dattam, we must have done welfare activities by giving food, by digging wells, by sharing our resources with others. Bhuta sauhridam, because of love for other living beings, to increase our affection for other living beings. Yat sampareta, because of which, sampareta, this child was almost lost to death. Ya sampareta punareva balako, but he has again returned back from death. That means the Brajavasis very much had faith in the Vedic principles, that by performing yagya, dana, tapa, na tyajyam karyam eva tat yagya dana tapa karma pavanani manishinam. Yagya, sacrifice, dana, charity, tapa, austerity, should be always performed, and these three will always fetch auspicious results for devotees. They will always fetch auspicious results for anyone when they are performed sincerely. Therefore, the Vedic culture is advising us that yes, the material world has been created as dukkhalayam ashashvatam. A certain weather is going to manifest in July. Can you stop it? Can you stop the rain? Can you stop the storm? Can you stop the tornado and cyclone? No. What can you do? prepare yourself. So the whole concept of the Vedic literatures is how we can prepare our consciousness and our responses in different seasons of prosperity and adversity in life. And that is being followed and acknowledged and expressed even by all the Brajavasis who are right with Krishna in their relationship with Krishna. And in this way, they are expressing their concern and love and affection for Krishna. Hare Krishna.